Got that right. We got it
Yeah.
down now. We got it
Yeah, we
down now.
do. I saw that shot clock. It was down to 10.
I
It's
was
down
wondering. I was wondering. I was like, maybe they removed it. Yeah,
to
yeah. No, that's good. That's good. You
maybe
got it
because of
down.
the Marcus Garvey comment,
Maybe that's one of those things, man.
right?
But yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
going back to the semi.
I was just saying if they got the animated component, then you can keep all the comedy, keep all of those wonderful topics and value because it's a beautiful love story,
Right.
beautiful hero's journey. Um, you can easily put that into the Marvel universe, no problem at all. It would be easy to do so, um, because there's comedy in the movies. There
Yes.
is diversity in
Yes.
character growth. So if you had Eddie Murphy, or let's say if it's animated, because then you wouldn't have to worry about the actors. If you had let's say a young adult Eddie Murphy,
Right.
Prince Akeem,
Right.
and you introduce the storyline I'm talking about, which is the what if.
Right.
What if Black Panther's Wakanda, as it exists, isn't the only? Because I love the dichotomy of they both have. I didn't even notice. Of course, I saw King Jaffe's lion on his head, but Akeem has a what is that, like a jaguar? What is that? I want to say it's not a cheetah. It's a big cat, but it's like he has like a little medium, not a
Right.
cheetah, it may be a cheetah, on his
Right.
shoulder.
Right.
Look at the cat alignment. So the fact that King, they got a lion for their crest,
Yes.
their family flag or their country flag is a lion, and I'm
Right.
like, oh, it's beautiful. That's easy. So Wakanda doesn't lose anything by being a panther worshiping,
Right.
culture.
Right.
But what if there's another culture that worships the lion? These are both very beautiful big cat. I'm like, oh, it's so easy. It's so easy. This is beautiful. So now, yeah, now you just got Zamunda added to the Marvel universe as it
Right.
pertains to another powerful kingdom. Now, you don't see any borders or gates or magical
No.
hidden walls over Zamunda. The
No.
camera just zooms in, and
And
you
it's
just
there.
you see all the jungle, you see all that, and they just there chilling.
Right. Yeah.
So, but I love that begs for a story, in my opinion. I'm like, how on this planet did they not get ripped apart or decimated? How are they still wealthy?
Right.
So that would be a lovely story. I'd love to write that. Man.
I
That'd
think
be
the
fun.
story sells itself because again,
Yeah.
you have this, the Marvel universe is just a universe of possibilities. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can
Right.
do anything. You can
Yep.
change the character. You don't have to have the same character be the same hero. You can change it, evolve, it changes. So to add that into the
Yeah.
universe,
Yeah.
it's no brainer, because again, what you do now, you get a lot of people who never like really got into Black Panther until they saw the
Right.
movie,
Yes.
who been a big fan of Coming to America. You
Yeah.
add those fans to Black Panther and vice versa. All those young kids who watch Black Panther when they like, teenager kids who watch it
Yeah.
that are now adults and like
Right.
embrace Black Panther, but never
Right.
watched
Never
Coming to
read the
America.
comic.
You bring
Okay, and
that
that's
in,
that's a sad part. And like I said, I
right?
don't know how you. I don't even know. You got to wait till they're. You got to be able to talk to your kids when you watch movies. Pause the movie and
Yes.
explain some stuff, man. Don't just let them digest this stuff, right?
Right.
There's stuff that I'm gonna show the movie again to my kids. They've seen it, but I'm gonna pause it now that I've gone back through just with different eyes. Like, let's talk about, Daryl's depiction or how he sees Africans. Let's talk
Right.
about that real quick.
Right.
And then question them. How do you see? How do you think
That's right.
Africans are, kids?
Yes. Yep.
What do you think? And then, get them on the internet. Send them on some homework.
Right. Right. Right.
They
Learn
look, they
some.
at home. They at home anyway. That's a good homework
Right.
assignment. Talk to them and really, really challenge, because that is a real thing. Out of sight, out of mind, or ignorance stays ignorance if you
Mhm.
never challenge it.
Right.
And that's one of those things that as a culture we fail at all the time. All the time. We don't. We're sometimes so satisfied with what we have, we forget that the world exists, that there's other people that don't have, there's other people that are suffering. But because we got everything we have, and it's hard, it's something you have, empathy has to be practiced.
Right.
To think outside of yourself, to say, yo, I'm comfortable in my bed, I'm warm, I'm full, because I ate dinner of my choosing. I paid my bills, I'm good.
Right.
To think outside that feeling takes practice. You have to literally say, but what about homeless people? What about people in my city and my current locale that don't have any of this stuff?
Right.
Should I care about them at all? Yes, no, maybe not tonight. I'm good. You know, and go to sleep. But that's it's in that movie. It's in these movies. Both Akeem and T'Challa are thinking outside themselves to say, but what if there's more? What if there's a different way other than what tradition has taught me?
Right.
Why do I have to walk on roses? Is Akeem. Why can't I tie my shoes? Why? And why can't I choose my own wife? He knew that tradition said this is what's gonna happen.
Right.
You know, but he still challenged it. That's where if you want to get outside of that tradition, outside of your norm, it takes effort. You got to have that effort to put forward. So kids, unfortunately, won't do it unless you just have a unique child.
Right.
That's like, yo, I want to share all my stuff with Johnny over there that doesn't have stuff. But why the hell would you do that? Oh, you know what? Never mind. That's a good thing to do. That's a good thing to do, even though I bought all that. That's a very good thing. Let me nurture that. You know, son, daughter. That's very sweet and kind of you. You sure we can't go to the dollar store and go? Never mind. Okay, you're right. You want to get your switch? Go ahead. That switch was $400, but go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sure he'll love it. You know, that's hard. That's hard because we work hard for our money. But yes, if your child doesn't have that, you got to put it in them. Otherwise, they're just going to be like, yo, mine. I don't care about you. You're in Africa. So that's a hard thing to do, man.
Yeah, man, and I think that's the a deep thing that you said is like when you put a movie on with your child, when they come to an important scene, stop it, and have a conversation with them. Like, what did you think?
Yeah.
What did you think about this conversation? What comes to your mind when you see this?
Or maybe get through the movie. I don't know how much time you got. You can watch the movie, but at least go back to those moments.
Right.
Like mark them in your brain. Watch the movie before your kids. Then sit your kids down. Then watch it with them. Then, if you have to, go back to those moments. Like now, there's so much I want to talk. When I sit my kids down and watch this movie again, both movies actually.
Right.
Because they watch Black Panther. Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. You got that attention span. You good. But both of those movies, you can do that and really dissect it because they're both entertaining. Yes. But as soon as you take a moment to say, wow, colorism, racism, selflessness.
That's the word I was looking for, assimilation. Because, again, when Akeem comes to America, he doesn't want people to know that he's a prince. So he's assimilate himself. And so I think that's critical, too. I think in both movies is assimilation. They play a critical role with both characters and everybody in that film, in both films.
Right. Yeah. After Agent Ross gets shot, he's T'Challa's questioning himself and, of course, the general and everybody on that ship as they're taking him back. He's like, I just can't let him die. If we can save him, I don't feel comfortable just letting him die. Akeem is literally gone to the means of creating an alternate reality for himself, his alter ego, and saying, I'm very poor, and at the same time, and I remember having that discussion, which is to say, is he wrong for lying? Because he's trying to find a genuine relationship. And if he tells the truth, there's a 98% chance someone will have maybe the wrong idea, or taking, oh my gosh, you're a prince. Oh shoot, what you need? Yeah, instead of saying, maybe I like you, maybe I don't. An organic relationship. So he assimilates. He says, yo, let him take our princely robes, and we're here in New York. Let's dress like New Yorkers. Right. And they get the scene, and of course, Simi is like, I feel like an idiot. But that's the thing. That's the thing. So yeah, you're right. They are assimilating different cultures, different ideas, to say, well, who am I now? Who am I now? How do I navigate in all of this tradition that I was raised in? And it's, for Akeem, it's the smallest things. He's happy about a rat-filled apartment that had, still got the tape, on the ground about where someone died, and the dog next to him, and a terrible apartment, terrible rough neighborhood. I don't say terrible. And he's excited, genuinely, like this is amazing. Finally, I'm out. This is real life. And whereas, of course, T'Challa takes it a little bit more heavy. Because I don't think you get that sense that he hasn't been able to leave Wakanda.
But I think they're different in a way, because Akeem chose assimilation by choice. He chose to do it. If you think about it. If he came to America, he could have been, you know what, let's keep our road. I don't care if people know I'm a prince. I'm trying to find that right woman. I don't care. But he chose to assimilate.
The only thing about choice, what if they would have rolled a map and got right back to Africa? It was random. He said, let's leave it to choice, or let's leave it to chance. And they spent the globe and touched Queens. Or touched America. What if it would have just Egypt? California. It would have been it would have been coming to Canada. It could have been coming to Canada instead of America, or anywhere, Brazil. He didn't choose America. He chose chance, and said, wherever this land, I'm gonna go find a queen there.
And by chance he chose Queen. But when he got to America, he chose to assimilate.
He didn't know which part of New York. They saw Queens on the map, but he was like, the dude was trying to change his mind. He was like, no, that should be in Manhattan. Go to the Waldorf, And he was like, no, I want Queens, the common parts. He was like, and the dude, the taxi driver, was anything that New York has is common parts. Queens has its common parts. So. But once he made up his mind, he was like, I'm sticking with the random choice that we found. So boom.
And then when you get and with Black Panther, it's like he was forced to assimilate, because in a way he had to fight Thanos. In a way. If you think about it, because he was thinking about the bigger picture. He's like, shit, even though we've been under the radar, eventually the battleground is going to be fought in my home turf. So I have no choice. This is what I have to do. So I think
me and my boy Greg agree where we didn't like that. The Black Panther in the comic is absolutely on par, if not way beyond. You know how the Batman argument is? Like, well, what if Batman fought anybody? Well, as long as he had what, prep time. If he could think about his thing, Batman could beat anybody. Black Panther in the comics, for those that don't know, is that kind of dude where they got Black Panther running up to Thanos trying to punch him. I breathed heavy when I saw it. I'm like, that's all? Y'all gonna do Black Panther like that? That's like a Hulk move or something. I'm like, I think Black Panther would have asked like several questions, and be like, so wait a minute, what the hell are these stones again? What do they do? He would have been informed before trying to go and just punch Thanos. So I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that my boy Greg was like, yo, nowhere else to fight them? other
Right,
than
why Wakanda?
Wakanda. Like,
Right.
yo, close the gate, push these cats out, and then close the
Yes,
gate behind me.
yes,
Keep that on, and
right,
we'll fight outside of Wakanda.
yes,
Keep everybody. My mama's in there.
right.
We're not fighting in here. Let's go out here. So what you saying? He tracks the stone. Hey, operate on vision outside the gate. Thank
Yeah,
you. Now close that bad boy, and now we can fight outside there. I
yeah.
literally, it was just plot convenience. It made us both mad. Like, oh, he's just gonna sack. And I hated the line. I hated it because you know your boy said this could be the end of Wakanda,
Right.
and then of course the general, you know, her reply was, but it'll be the noblest end. I was like, oh,
Oh
what?
my,
No, that's not
that sounds like,
noble to
yo,
sacrifice
that
that.
sounds like a scene from The
Yeah,
Patriot. Dude, that's,
yeah. I was like, that ain't noble. That's just dumb. That's just poor
yeah,
planning, is what that
yeah,
is.
it is.
Take it outside.
Yeah,
In fact, and let's do this squabbling outside the gate.
right,
Thanos, we're gonna have blood on the other side. All right,
right.
good. Now, what did you say? What you want? You want that stone? It's actually not here. It's somewhere
Right,
else. So we'll
right.
rock it out from there. But that's my thing. There were some things where I didn't like that. I don't think it was just they had to get to the end of the movie. I get it.
Yeah.
But no, that wasn't Black Panther. That Black Panther would have been
No,
like, nah,
no, I
not
ain't
gonna work
having
it
it.
that way.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, yeah. His sister would have came up with some.
Right. I'm just saying, they would have taught the Doctor Strange, say, yo, make a alternate universe.
Well,
Make a
Doctor
fake
Strange was dead
Wakanda.
at that point. Yeah, Doctor Strange was gone at that. Well,
Yeah, he
no,
was
wait, was
gone.
he gone?
But it go, no, he was, I think he was in a different universe. He was trapped
That's
somewhere
right.
else.
Wait, when did he get snapped? He got snapped at the end.
At the
Yes,
end,
yes,
yeah.
yes. At the end. Okay, good, good, good. Yeah, he was doing some stuff. Yeah, but
But I'm
yes,
just
yes,
saying.
yes. That's the stuff where I'm like, that could be way better written right there. That they just took some time because you build up these characters. They didn't get to where they are by being,
Right,
you know, rash or
right.
being non-planners. So I didn't like that at all. I was like,
No,
a
they're
little
a little bit
different.
methodical in in his decision.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
They
in the
got wise
comic
people
book,
all around them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
He has a
because
council that sits
yeah,
around him.
yeah,
Should
yeah,
we fight this fight?
yes,
Yo, yeah, that's one of those things I would have liked to see that.
yeah.
His
I
mom
thought
probably
it
would have said something smart.
was,
Don't do it.
to give him that look. I
So
told you so.
right, right. How about we do this instead?
Right,
Okay, okay. Don't let none of those people on my into Wakanda. None of them.
right,
Captain America gonna have to meet
right,
you over there. Don't
right,
bring him in here. It's easy,
right.
easy stuff. So, but yeah, I think there's just really the cool thing that excites me about creating what ifs is no one can if you care about the characters, if you care about the properties and you're a fan of things like that,
Right.
um, if you care about, you know, and you really pay attention to their personality types, it's hard to
Right.
make that mistake even with a what if.
Right.
The person that could cure corona is
Right.
actually, I don't know if she's that powerful in the movie, but in the comics, Scarlet Witch could cure
Very powerful.
that,
Yeah.
and that's, yeah, no more corona, and it'll
Right.
do, it's gone. Reality shifters, things like that, that can cure all that stuff, but it'd be a pretty heavy plot device. But when you're talking about introducing Zamunda into Marvel, if you care about Akeem, his father, his mother, that kingdom, what it represents, it's hard to make that mistake because you're saying they had a
Yeah.
beautiful family dynamic. You know, his father wanted him to move forward into the next step of his life, is
Right.
what a father watching that movie can
Yeah.
honestly see. He's concerned. What's wrong? Now,
Right.
granted, he didn't know his son had a mustache, so I don't know how often he's in his son's life. He's obviously a busy king, but
Right.
still, you know, he was genuinely concerned. He wasn't faking. when he was concerned, and he had that talk. When he objected, Your Highness, the guests are waiting. I love that scene. He was like, well, let them wait.
Yes.
I'm talking to my son. That's not a fake care.
No, that's genuine.
Not like he's a genuine, like, I don't give a damn about them people. I'm talking to my son right now. Now tell me, son, what you want? That's not. So if you bring that character into the Marvel universe, the Marvel comics, anime, whatever, it would, as long as you still embody those core character traits. And that's why I love characters so much. As a character artist, it's not hard to write Akeem and T'Challa having a conversation.
No.
As hope-filled and optimistic and upbeat as Akeem was, having that polarize and talk to a heavy weight on his shoulder T'Challa.
Yes.
What kind of conversations would you have? And it would definitely be enjoyable as a fan of both to be like, I would be laughing to myself. I'd be grinning the whole time. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Right. That's where if you really care about characters, if you really care about those things, unfortunately, you have writers that traditionally through Marvel that absolutely do not, it's cognitive dissonance, where they honestly don't even take the time to say, what is a Black kingdom? Is there can we do research on that? Is there a loving relationship?
Right.
What is the father and mother and the son? And what does that even look like?
Right.
Black love. What the hell is that? If you're a white writer, I understand this is foreign concepts to you. If you're a white American writer who has never seen such a thing in any type other than this movie, Coming to America.
Cosby Show.
Cosby Show, which the Cosby Show was beautiful. Yeah. I don't know how he made it through that they had some really strong aspects in that show, and somehow they managed to just skate by the consequences. There was no heavy consequences. Yes. But beautiful to see. Still not based on a lot of data. If that's your only two, you can say, Coming to America was hilarious. That was a fictional family, but they really did have some good examples in there. But more of that. If you don't know how to write that, if you've never seen it, how are you going to write genuine Black relationships in a fictional comic world that actually has a lot of implications and weight to it, what it means? I was reading a post today about there's a new image someone illustrated T'Challa and Storm together.
Okay.
And there was a lot of back and forth in the comments, which is, why are people, glorifying this relationship? It was trash. The way they wrote it was trash. And I don't disagree. And what they did in the comics was not full of, actual love and something that took time to blossom naturally into marriage.
Right.
Storm was on the fence. Like, she didn't even want to at first, but that's because it was out of nowhere in terms of how they did it in the comic. So you have writers that maybe don't even know what Black romance looks like.
No,
so,
definitely. And I
to me,
feel like...
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro. No.
No, I was just saying, if anyone asked me if I was T'Challa and I knew of a Storm, so you telling me there's a woman right now she's from Africa? Which one?
Right.
What? Oh, shit, hold on. She can do what now?
Right.
Fly, control the weather.
Right.
And I'm not married. She's not. Why isn't she in my? Why doesn't she live here?
Right. Why is she not in my radar?
Look. Write this up. Write this invitation up. I want you to write, Dear Storm, from the King of Wakanda. You are royally and cordially invited to come and have a tour of Wakanda. If you don't have a house here, I would like to invite you. I'll fly my jets, whatever you need. Apparently you can fly though, but I want you to be relaxed. So it'd be a no-brainer to say, let's start the conversations. I would like to know you.
Right.
Honestly, that's why I would start that comic. I would say, yo, T'Challa should want to get to know Storm,
Right.
even if it's just, I've heard a lot about you.
Right.
I happen to be kind of a badass myself, but I don't want to talk about me.
Right.
Let's talk about what you've done. Apparently, you've made a name for yourself.
Right.
I don't know you, so let's fix that. I mean, I met you a long time ago, but you've been doing some stuff since then. Let's talk about what you got, girl. Come on. And that whole relationship could blossom, you know, humor, interest, the trauma that both of them have lived through. What have you been through? Talk to me. Wow. So the conversation that Nakia was having in the movie with T'Challa on that cliff, that's beautiful. Because now you got a woman who's not trying to basically drive a man's life. She's giving genuine. Still there?
Yeah, we got a little.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
That was all good.
Yeah. But that's the kind of thing that's what Storm and T'Challa should have started with. That should have been its own story arc.
Right.
You know, by itself. Before the marriage, before the proposal, it's Storm and T'Challa, the adventures of Storm and T'Challa.
Yes.
Because how many people would read that instead of, hey, T'Challa just proposed out of nowhere?
Right. Oh. No, that would have been a lot of people, dude.
Yeah, that seems forced, because it did. It was. Right. You know, well, he black, she African, he African, marry. Okay, I guess.
Let's make it happen.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I would love to write or read or see the adventures of, or the budding relationship of those two characters, because they're both epic. It shouldn't. It's what's happening with DC Justice League. You're trying to do a 15-minute intro to, 5-minute intro on some of them, and just say, well, from the Justice League at the end, yay. Don't rush it. No, don't rush it. Give us some actual character growth, some problems. They work out. Things happen, and then because of all of those wonderful things and trials, now they go together. And it's not hard for me to write, because guess what? I was married.
Before. So you know.
It doesn't work that way.
So the story you already probably written the story. You probably written the story already. You probably already got the story.
Yes, listen. I got a mama who went through some stuff. I can pull from hers. My own personal walk. I was married for 14 years. I got that to pull from. That's a lot. Right. So and I courted my wife for 2 years before talking about marriage, because I was trying to do it right. So I got a lot to pull from. Hire someone that actually knows what that looks like. There's no question. We know what the opposite, non-black love, looks like. We know what that looks like. It's on every TV show, movie, sitcom, whatever you want. Comics, Lois and Superman.
They had what, 8 seasons of that? I don't know.
They got multiple shows about Lois and Clark and all. Yeah, man, we know what that looks like. It's Saved by the Bell and Saved by Bell, everything, man. We know what that looks like. Yeah. But give us a genuine love story that unfolds. Yes, we should write it. You're right, Gail. I should, and that's what's up. So that's the thing where it's if you do it right, these characters fit in any universe, really. And the reason I'm saying that is because as easy as Wakanda was to fit in that film, and say they somehow exist because they've hidden themselves. Right. And coming to America, they existed and didn't hide themselves. They're on a museum wall, and their art collection is in the museum. So the world knows about them. Yeah. They're not hidden, and it's still believable. Still can walk around New York and get a hotel room and walk, throw roses on the steps in Queens. Not once. It was a stark thing to see, but it was still believable. And that's where you can put them in anywhere. A fictional world, they'd work the same way. So,
and you can. And I think in that alter universe, I think it can happen and it should happen. You set the groundwork for this to happen. You know, hopefully Marvel reach out to you and make this happen.
Instead
of some random white dude or some random dude watching it now. And like, oh, I came up with a concept and going to the
listen, I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that. I've already come to terms with these. I'm playing with someone else's toys. It's literally, I'm going to a toy box and I'm saying, yo, I don't own neither one of these toys, but you know what'll be dope? If I did this, I'm playing with someone else's toys, but it's still fun because the imagination. I can say I love both of these properties. I love both of these characters, and I've been doing that since I was a child, honestly. And you role play with video games. You have role playing games where you take a character, doesn't look like you, sometimes, most times doesn't look like you. And you can still have fun and enjoy because the story that character is going through. It's just, you got to find writers that care about that, man. Otherwise, you get what happened to Star Wars. Gosh.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I know that can be a whole conversation by itself right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, actually, what I'm going to do is someone sent a question. I'm going to say that question.
I have not talked to anyone at Marvel, if that's the question. I'm answering
go
ahead.
Is from Mikey Makes Comics. What's a underrated, unutilized black character that you would like to write or draw as a series?
Unutilized.
I think
black
Bishop.
Character.
I think Bishop.
Man, Bishop would be fun. Static. What said Marvel or DC? Who'd you say?
He said
Marvel. Any character? Oh, Marvel.
I think he said any character. I think he said any character. My bad.
Oh, okay.
Me personally, I think Bishop. I think Bishop in the Marvel universe is the most underrated character story-wise, because if you go back to the comic, his sister dies, and you know the whole story about him. And I think if you write his story well, I think he would be as big as if you put him in the movie as their own movie alone, like Blade. I think it would do just as well as Blade. So I would say Bishop.
Bishop is kind of a clean slate in my opinion, man. They didn't give a lot of Bishop. They gave him a little backstory, gave him some motivation, a little bit, and sent him back in time, and he just kind of stayed there and hung out with the X-Men, trying to figure out who did something and if he can change the future. But the reason I say static, I don't disagree. I'd love to, if they gave me Bishop, I would do some cool stuff with Bishop because he is a dope character. Just really, really, really poorly written. Really poorly written. Like his power, the way he uses his power, all of this stuff. I didn't read the latest Bishop comics that came out, so I can't speak to what he's been updated with. I don't know if they've changed his power set. But the reason I say static is because if you missed that cartoon when it came out, Static and the creators of that, at least the cartoon, I had the comics when they came out. Static comic, I love the comics. Love with Dwayne McDuffie was doing what they did back then with those comics. But the cartoon did something unique as well. I would have made some choices differently with some of the interactions. But I say Static because he was an everyman hero, very similar to Peter Parker. He was down to earth. He was believable as a young black teenager character. Not very used to seeing those kind of characters on TV. I laughed with that show. I was surprised with some of the things they dealt with in that show. The racism episode, all that stuff. I was just like, whoa, they doing that on cartoons?
Think about that, too, when it came on WB, it was in that time slot. At that time. And like you said, their story was revolutionary to show it at that time. Because that came on, I think, right after the Batman animated series. The good Batman one, I think, right?
Yes, thank you. Good one. Best one. I raced home for that, man. You had to fight to get me not in front of that show. Oh my God, Batman animated series was beautiful.
Well written, everything. It was a complete masterpiece. but it came on like I think right after that. But like I
Yes.
said, it was just important in its time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If so, the unfortunate. Well, it's not unfortunate because shit, we need more. The Miles Morales of the Into the Spider-Verse, that version of Miles Morales needs to have his own show
I,
series, not just
I
movies.
totally agree.
Show me everyday Miles Morales interactions. I don't care if it's fluff. Miles
Right.
Morales has to go to the grocery store to get some
Yeah.
stuff for
I
his,
totally agree.
Puerto Rican mama
Right.
because she needs to cook tonight. I'll watch that episode happily. And
Right.
whatever else is happening, they throw in for him being Spider-Man. I would
Right.
watch the hell out of that show just
I
because of
totally agree.
how amazing they did with that character in the film. And I wanted to know more. I did a couple of posters
Right.
myself saying, well, let's go after the movie. After his uncle died, Miles's father is a police officer. He would probably want to have that conversation with his son about gun safety,
Right.
about the importance of it. You know what? I'm going to take you to the range so you can
Right.
appreciate how dangerous and how powerful this thing is. So
Right.
what happened to your uncle doesn't happen to you. You
Right.
know, that's real stuff. I took my kids to the gun range to give them an appreciation of what this weapon is.
Right.
Things like that. His interaction with his mom.
Right.
I love that in the film. Those real beautiful interactions. And she spoke Spanish to her son, who's,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
love that. I would love to see that
Right.
as a series. So do that with Static.
Right. I totally agree. And I'm getting
Yeah.
comments like Black Gay Comic said all black Justice League. Another person said all black Avengers. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to see that. Be honest, I don't want to see an all black Avengers. I don't if I want to see a version, I like that version that you were talking about. Get a bunch of black scientists together to create something. Use
Well,
black scientists names from legendary black scientists that's in our history and utilize them into a story to create something. I don't want to use I don't think we need that.
I gotta ask you the question though, because you gotta really target where that resistance is coming from. You have been. Do you like the Avengers movies?
I like it. It's cool. Yeah, I do. I like the Avengers movie.
So by definition, you like a pretty much all white team of Avengers already. You got 3 Avengers.
Right.
They did not break the rule of 4 in the Avengers movies.
Right.
How many non-black characters are Avengers? Captain America, Tony Stark, Spider-Man, Hulk, Black Widow, Thor. And it keeps going and going, right? So you already like an all-white cast of Avengers.
No, you're right.
So to say, I don't want to see an all-black one comes from somewhere. You got to target it for yourself. Now, here's my rebuttal to that comment. Your comment is, I don't want to see that. That's your preference. However, here's what I would say to that, is to say, I want to see a well-done, written, all-black Avengers, where it is not just, hey, we all black, avenge. I don't want to see that.
And that's the one thing I worry
well-written, I want to see a well-written, character-driven team of superheroes saving the world or solving a problem in a genuine and entertaining way. I want to see that all day. You know how many movies that we deserve as a culture that look like that?
I totally agree.
And not just superheroes. I'm talking about fantasy, sci-fi, action adventure. We have comedy.
Yes.
We have some horror. That's all black, and it's usually a trope. Unfortunately, we can laugh all day and see a black cast doing goofy stuff and laughing, but you say serious sci-fi, serious fantasy. Why the hell is there not an all-black Lord of the Rings type movie? There's no black trolls. There's no black elves. There's no black hobbits. For real, for real. That's where if you say all black Lord of the Rings, you'll get opposition very similar to what you just said. I don't want to see an all, but that's because it sounds very tropey and pandery, which is to say, what if the only Lord of the Rings you ever saw was full of the opposite of what you saw with the Lord of the Rings? Would it still be an epic 3-part, 3 hours each movie? Of course it would. You get beautiful actors. I mean, not beautiful in the sense. You get talented actors. Yes. The story is rich. The stakes are genuine. Every interaction matters. Right. But you just put really talented black actors. Right. You write any story like that. Right. Avengers did make an all-black, Avengers story. Marvel, I should say. Marvel made an all-black Avengers story. Right. I didn't like it off the rip. I don't know if I finished every book, but I read about 4 of them. And I was like,
Right, and that's the problem that I worry about.
It was meh.
You all like I said, that's the problem. Is like the reason why, like you said, the reason why it came out that way. I could have worded it better, but the reason why it came out is when they do films like that, they just throw it in together. Yeah, like
it comes from a real place. Yeah, it comes from the trauma we've had whenever we've asked for someone else, not us, to make a story about something that we like. Or something that is directed towards us. Right. You cannot ask someone who's never cooked soul food to make some soul food and expect it to be soul food. It's going to be based on soul food. Right. I've made you some, whatever you, I hear you traditionally like, this kind of soup. I think it's called, no, what the hell? Where's this? What is this? Oh, this is trash. Right. What do you call this? Oh, I thought it was gumbo. No, this is garbage, not gumbo. This is garbage. And I can't believe you tried to say this was good. This is what I wanted. Oh, so you don't like my gumbo? So I'll never make another movie like that.
Right. It's like an insult to your intelligence,
Right. Right.
No, it's like it's so intelligent. Like, yes, we want to see this, but you want a good story. Yeah. You want to know why they brought together into this universe. You just don't want to do it because he's black, she's black.
Yeah. I hate when they do it. I don't care what I'll argue anybody that disagrees. I was looking forward to not seeing Samuel L. Jackson. Don't call that dude, Nick Fury. Damn it. Call him something else. Yes. Call him anything else. Just call him Joe Jackson. Whatever. Oh, I'm the new head of S.H.I.E.L.D. Our last guy used to be called Nick Fury. Put his picture on the wall. Old white dude with a little streak of white in his hair. Right. That was the last director. Right. Joe Jackson is the new head of S.H.I.E.L.D. The same lines, the same everything, script and everything. Samuel Jackson could have did everything the same way. Just don't call him Nick Fury. It's stupid. What did it bring to the character of Nick Fury other than he's black now? Yeah. It's lazy writing. It didn't change anything about Nick Fury. They didn't have one scene where it showed Nick Fury coming up through the ranks as a black agent in a traditionally white agency. If you would have gave me that, I would have been like, they wanted to put some layers to Nick Fury. I love it. I love it now.
And if you would have ruled him the right way, he could have had a standalone movie. Yeah. Yes. We could have. Yes. Seriously.
I would have watched that too.
Me
if
too.
They would have said, if all they have, I like 2 minutes. Show me a montage in the Avengers film that says, here's why Nick Fury is important as a black character. Right. Because he's not a black character in any media before this film. Why did we change him black? If you say as a writer, you want to make that decision as Marvel, as a studio, and say, well, instead of just checking off a check to say now we got 3 black people in the movie, what if we add 2 minutes where we talk about Nick Fury's journey? as a actual SHIELD agent, and why he is now director. That's a huge thing. If anybody was in the room when they was doing this movie, I would have been the one dude to say, hey, we actually got a really big-ass story that we're not even talking about. Can I have 2 minutes of the film to do this, just like a montage? Real quick. It'll be real quick. As to how a black man became the head of a United States super secret military thing. Anybody? No? Folks?
Nope.
All right. No one apparently said that. They're just like, who can we turn black? Well, nobody cares about Nick Fury. Cool. Got it. Check. Nick Fury's black now. And I can't stand it. Anytime they do it, it burns me up, because they never change the character as it pertains to what does this black character switch mean. So I don't care. I'll argue with anybody that says, well, at least they got a black actor job. No. I don't care.
It's about
That's not what I want. That's not
story.
good.
Like you said, it goes back to lazy writing. You know, if this is the person you choose to play a certain character.
Yeah, because all you have to do is just take 2 seconds to look up the character online. Yeah. And now you'll see a lot of black Samuel L. Jackson reference when you Google Nick Fury. Right. Is that a good or bad thing? I guess until you actually start reading the history of the character. And now, whoa, shit, is this the same character? Right. It works for Psylocke because they did some weird stuff with Psylocke in X-Men. She used to be a white lady, and then she got a conscience. It was weird. But at least there's a reason she's Asian or Japanese, whatever. And, they didn't do that with Nick Fury. None of that.
And then I have Trey Solo that says, how do you feel about the new Batwoman being black? I'm fine with it because the original black woman in the original series was a black woman across the kid.
It's Batwoman?
Batwoman. No, I thought you thought Catwoman. My bad. The new Batwoman. My bad. What do you think about the new Batwoman being black?
I haven't seen it. Again, if they did it as a means to just, say we got a black Catwoman, a lot of it is shock factor, and it works every time, every single time. They change a character. They color wash a character. I call it black washing because they whitewash characters all the time, but to reverse that process, I call it black washing. Right. It's just about the same level of, lazy writing. And so if black Batwoman is this wonderfully rich character that they're writing as a purpose to say, this is the new character that's carrying the mantle of Batwoman. I'll love it. I'll watch it and be like, this is dope. New character alert. Cool. Let's see her story. How does she get the mantle of Batwoman? If it's supposed to be the same traditional white character, just now she's black, I'm probably gonna pass because I don't want to see that. Right. Yeah. I hated that they did it to the team. What is it? Not team. Yeah, Teen Titans. Titans. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the series yet, but I don't want that. Don't just make a girl black just to make her black. Right. She's an alien.
No. But it goes back to the writing, man. If you don't have people that reflect the actual character and tell the narrative through their perspective, you're gonna get the same thing all over again.
All over again. And I don't subscribe to it. I wish they would let me play with the toys. If it was just black characters, I wouldn't be offended. African Americans can do something that white Americans can't do inherently, which is because we have been bombarded for 30 plus years. If you're born in the 80s, we've been bombarded with white culture. Bombarded almost to the point of brainwashed to say that's the normal. If you do that to a group of people for 30, 40, 50 years plus, your mom, and your father may be affected by being bombarded for all of their life. And so that translates to their children. You, as a child, may have gotten some of their brainwashing in your life. We can now, under that bombardment, absolutely spew back, representation of what your culture looks like. Because guess what? We've studied our entire damn life. Your culture. You've been on our TV, cereal boxes, magazines, comics, dreams, everything else, fear, hopes, what is successful looks like, you know, all of that has been bombarded to our brains as African Americans. Yeah. Guess what? The reverse. White Americans they're not bombarded with African, black people culture. They don't have to touch it ever. They never have to touch it if they don't want to.
Right.
When they do, when they do, it's kind of a, oh, look, that's what they look like up close. Oh, I don't have to deal with that. I'm going back to my side. They move where communities push out black families. Redlining is a real thing. Whole communities push out that interaction, and it's still going on today. So they don't have the same ability because they haven't been bombarded with show after show after show after show on television all through their life, young life. Imagine if the Cosby's was one of 15 shows showing black families that love one another. Comedies, Full House, you know what I'm saying? We imagine growing up with more than just the Cosby's. Yeah. What if there was, 15 shows like we've got, watching their culture? That's what I'm saying. So it's unfair when you say, can a white writer correctly or properly write a black character in their story? Right. It's unfair to say, well, they can't, because depending on what you live through, maybe you can. Right. But if you've never did that, if you've never been subject to absorbing that culture, right. I'm a professional at white culture. I can talk about it in depth. I can change my speech. Right. Well, hi, my name is Marcus Williams, and I have, I can do that, and to a point where it's second nature. It's not uncommon to me, because that's what I've been studying for 30 plus years. So that's all. That's just saying. That's where if you give a writer that cares about these things to say, here's what's missing, and why. Here's what I can do for a cyborg. Right. Here's what I can do for Batwing. Right. This ancillary character that's trash in terms of his impact in the comics. He's just there and then he's not. Right. Write a story and I guess he's okay. That's enough. Right. Nubia. Let me play with Nubia. I'll write some dope stuff for Nubia. I will. I promise I will. But any character. You're talking about Vixen. Yeah. Not dope. Vixen is as a character. It's beautiful. But they write it in a way that a white writer would write about an African American girl who gets her powers from an African amulet. and goes on to apparently, I guess do stuff. But what? You know how dope that story is? That's amazing.
If you've done it right, yes. Yeah. If you do it right, and you talk about the symbolic behind the medallion, instead of being like this African, can you?
Thank you.
Tell us about the rich history of that medallion.
Right.
Like the people before them, instead of just medallion.
Yeah. Right. It's that's just where your power is from. Don't worry about that stuff. Let's go back to America. Yeah. Right. No, you're a superhero on the Justice League team, and you do stuff.
At least Voltron got a backstory.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, man. But yeah, any toy they would give me, man, I would play with it with just love and care for what that character means. If it's just one, I'll play with that toy and build a world around it. Storm by herself can occupy graphic novels worth of just amazing stories, because she's so diverse as a character. Right. She is so diverse. She's so outgoing, adventurous, athletic. She's absolutely caring, empathetic. She's a beautiful character to play with, and you get these very cold stories from her. Yeah. And it drives me up the wall, man. I'm like, do you understand how beautiful this woman is as a character? But they won't let me play with it. Look, they won't let me play. They won't let me play with them characters.
They won't, man.
And
And
now
that's what makes your imagination so great, man.
this is the common rebuttal to that comment is, well, don't play with their toys, make your own.
Right.
Listen, I absolutely 100 agree, and I am.
Right.
I'm doing that actively, but
Right.
it doesn't mean I'm not. I can't want to fix.
Right.
To fix a problem, because if you fix that popular, traditional, wonderful character, instead of just saying she's their toys, don't worry about hers.
Right.
What if I got the chance though? If they gave the chance to fix it, what would I do? In the meantime, of course, create a new character.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you have to deal with the reality. Your character may not reach the same height of popularity as this 40-plus-year-old character here, you know, because she has a connection with just dozens and dozens and dozens of fans that love her just for what she represents.
Yes.
Because they've seen her so long. But, you know, creating a new character is, if you genuinely want to show these stories, you know, that goes back to the cooking of soul food. Cook your food.
Yeah.
Become that cook, chef. Yes, make your own food, put it out there. I guarantee you people will love to read and partake. But it's going to be an uphill battle in terms of getting it out to the masses. Doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. I agree with it. It's just because I'm a passionate fan, it's weird to say to a fan, hey man, you know, Tribe Called Quest is no more. Why do you want more music? Make your own music. Yeah, but I love Tribe Called Quest like a mug. And if they did another album, I would love it. You know, man, they could talk about some of the stuff going on today. You know, so as a fan, it's hard to tell that fan inside, you know, push that fan love aside and do your own music. Okay, you know, I can do that, but I still love what I love. So I love these black characters,
And I think that's the beauty, like you were saying before, is like, you know, you can do both. You can create your own, but at the same time, you can go back, appreciate and value a character that already exists and see their flaws and say, you know what, I can do it this way because it relates to me. And I think that's a big thing. And again, I love what you do, man. You know, I'm your number one fan. I saw the link that I can buy the T-shirt now. So is it that shirt's got to be all in red, right? It can't be in different colors. Right?
All right, I was thinking about the all in red one, so I got you. I can do that.
Yeah, it has to do with service because if you got the red poster, it's got to be a red shirt.
I got you. No, I got you. For you, I will go ahead and upload that all red. And yes, I got you.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'll send the money to you via PayPal with my address, with my T-shirt size.
I'm gonna upload it, so you ain't got to do that. I'm gonna upload it. You got it. You go directly to the source. I got you. I will do that for. But yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. I enjoy the talks. I enjoy the chance to at least explain.
You know, we spoke for like 2 hours.
Yeah. That's but it's a lot. It's a lot to unpack, right?
Dude. It is. That's a beautiful thing, man.
The topic at hand can start out, you know, fairly simple. This was the topic, y'all. This is why we was talking in the first place.
Yes.
This piece right here, and what it meant, and the alignments, what these two characters would be to one another, and why is this important? Why, you know, things like that. But it's a lot to unpack, man. You're talking about character, and yeah. So 2 hours is a good start. We can do that.
It is, man. Because you see that the shot clock is going off right now. So what do you have to say to your fans out there? Like, what's next? What you gonna do next?
Oh man. Well, just
know that they just need to buy the T-shirt.
No. Listen, you ain't gotta buy nothing at all. If you want to support, man, just share the work. I never do anything to make
we're gonna
money.
have to do this again. We got the shot clock. I gotta go back on. Yo, all right. Now the shot clock is back on. So what do you want to tell the people out there?
Let's see if we can get him back in. We had a few. Appreciate y'all joining again. We're gonna give him time to join up real fast. Like give him like 30 seconds. There you go. We got a couple more back in there.
We got them all in there. We got them all in there.
Welcome back. Welcome back. You know, we weren't supposed to talk that long. You know, we sorry. So no, I was just saying. As far as support, man, anybody that's been following my work, hopefully you got the common theme is I'm not necessarily doing it to just sell product. That's a plus. That's cherries on top. That's sprinkles. Of course, any kind of conversation is great, but just share the work. You can comment. We can have discussions. I'm doing this out of fanship because